Hello, I'm Maya Solomon, and today I'm going to be discussing how to use AI tools to develop a project scope. To outline the presentation, first I'm going to define project scope. As we learned in class, I'm going to talk about some of the existing challenges with defining scope, and then I'm going to discuss and demonstrate how we can use AI to address some of these challenges, and then I'll end with some key takeaways. So project scope is the tangible outcome expected to be realized by the end of a project. So we talked about this a lot and how without having a clearly defined scope and explicit expectations of everyone on the team, the project will be unlikely to succeed. Some examples that we saw throughout this quarter were with R&R and Motorola Bandits, which I thought were good examples of defining project scope. And as we discussed extensively as well, Campbell's was an instance of a very disorganized project with no clear scope, which is one of the reasons why it was so unsuccessful. So with R&R, there was a clear objective of delivering the TV guide with low overhead costs, and all of the project partners had explicit roles. In Bandits, there was similarly a very clear objective of achieving a certain standard quality result and a clear output of having a production line to produce the technology, as well as having the contract book that could be used to assign roles and make sure everyone was on the same page. Whereas Campbell's did not have this and was more dysfunctional. And even though Motorola ultimately didn't deliver the Six Sigma results and they settled with Five Sigma, having that scope defined from the beginning allowed them to have flexibility and make adjustments as new information came about. So as it stands, it can be challenging to define project scope because naturally teams will be very ambitious and want to strive for the best results. And this can often come with overestimating your own capabilities and also underestimating what resources may be available, which is why we see a lot of cost overruns in a lot of instances. Additionally, there can be conflicting stakeholder priorities. So, for example, I put that the marketing team might want certain features that will sell well in the market, whereas maybe the engineering team is more focused on the design itself, whether that's attractive to customers or not. And then finance team would be interested in managing costs, which might be in conflict with both of those prior priorities. And there can also be a lot of uncertainty. So when you're defining the scope at the beginning, you may not be accounting for every single event that could occur in the future. So I think that AI can be useful in all of these areas by helping with modeling. So that can help with risk management and seeing different scenarios of how things can play out. It can also manage stakeholder interest by consuming a lot of information and interpreting exactly what the needs of different team members are via different mediums, such as meeting notes or email chains. And also for managing uncertainty, kind of as I mentioned with the modeling, it can generate alternative scenarios that can help that you maybe did not consider previously, can help you consider them. So I did a demonstration where I said that I am a project manager at a real estate development firm making a new development in Evanston. And I asked ChatGPT to generate a feasible project scope. So as you can see, it gave me a 10 kind of bullet points of things that I should prioritize. So for example, the main objective is deliver the 10-unit multifamily building by a certain date, which is July 2026. And it's saying other things like conduct comprehensive market analysis and oversee the construction. So if I did not have a clear focus, it gives me one right here and helping me make sure I'm understanding all the aspects that will be important to making this project successful. It also is able to generate a Gantt chart, which we used a lot in class as well. And so this can be useful in kind of starting with figuring out how the schedule should look without needing to manually go into a tool like Microsoft Project and figuring this out. by hand, which can be very helpful as a starting point. I did another example of like managing different stakeholder interests. So I said there was a conflict between the architects and the engineers and asked ChatGPT how to manage this conflict within the team. And so it gave me these steps. So first, start by reframing the disagreement, meet with each group separately, bring the groups together, define the compromise. So this is very reminiscent of the Amanda case that we did. And it even offered to come up with a sample email to send to different team members in a script and a decision log. So this is helping with all of the record keeping that we also discussed as being important to successful project management. Lastly, for managing uncertainty, I asked ChatGPT to generate a risk matrix given potential risks like cost overruns, housing demand, and also any like climate impacts due to extreme weather. And it was able to do so and also create a heat map. So takeaways is that using AI like ChatGPT or Notion or Copilot can really help save time in the beginning phases of a project with understanding the scope by offering a broad range of outcomes to consider and giving quick feedback to any ideas or concerns that you may have. And also it can be useful in managing teams and personal relationships and conflicts that may arise. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation.